you went to law school, you were a lawyer. What do you think about the job that McCulloch did as a prosecutor?
Okay, look, man, I talked about it briefly in that video I sent in from New York. I know you guys talked about it and did a great job with it. But, you know, look, and I'm not claiming to be some sort of world-renowned prosecutor. I worked in 2 prosecutors' office, but as a summer intern, right? But I had some degree of experience. I've never, ever heard of a prosecutor going to a grand jury and saying, oh, golly gee, do whatever you like.
Yeah.
Here's both sides of the story, and I'm not saying you should do one thing or the other. Oh, I'm going to let the guy who we're trying to charge, who we're trying to indict, speak for hours and hours and hours unopposed.
No cross-examination.
I mean, it is literally unheard of, unprecedented.
Yeah.
The only reason you do that is because you want to throw the case. It's not just that you don't want to indict him. You want to pretend that you're doing the case, and then turn around and make his defense for him as the prosecutor, and then say, God, the evidence was so weak that even a grand jury wouldn't indict him. Now, McCulloch is a... I'm trying to avoid adjectives, okay? But look, he's obviously looking out for Darren Wilson. He's looking out for the cops. He's looking out for the establishment. He's looking out for his own career. And does he care about the people of Ferguson? Of course not. Never occurred to him. Michael Brown dead in the streets with a bullet hole in his head, and McCulloch never gave a damn, never even came close to caring about that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the one way that you were unfair, though, is that you said that he presented 2 sides. I don't think he presented 2 sides. I think he presented one.
Yeah, pretty much.
He said to the grand jury that here's such and such things would be a perfect defense. If there's that defense, you can indict. And by the way, there was that defense. He told the grand jury not to indict Darren Wilson.
I mean, look.
And he still has his job. He did quite well.
If you cared about a prosecutor prosecuting, that would be the worst incompetence you have ever seen in a prosecutor. Now, of course, most of the people, unfortunately, applaud him, say, way to throw the case. Yeah, way to be. Okay, way to come out on our side no matter what. Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to be tough on crime. Here you were the least tough on crime a prosecutor has ever been, that I've ever seen in my life, right?
And remember, it's a pattern for him. 0 for 5 when cops kill unarmed people.
What a wonderful coincidence. Just total chance. But you know when...
We should start...
No. When black people come in and kill white people, and black people come and kill cops, I'm sure he lets them go too. I'm sure he says, now let me present the best case. Yeah, let me present the best case scenario for this African American who shot a white cop. Yeah. He does that every time, right, McCulloch? So you're not really a prosecutor. You're not really a prosecutor for the people, right? What you are is a corrupt guy who says, I'm going to do whatever it's going to help my career with the cops, with the establishment, with the government, with white people, etc. I'm going to get, votes at some later date, etc. And I don't care. Well, you can shoot black people in the head all you like. As long as you're a cop, okay, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to do everything I can to throw the case on your behalf. Yeah. McCulloch, if he was genuine, is the worst prosecutor in the country.
But it's more likely he's evil. And look, and it's like we're sort of joking around. It's really insidious because obviously the cops are corrupt. We know in many parts of the country, the cops are going to protect their own no matter what. But theoretically, there are checks against that in the judiciary, in the state legislative branches, the federal government, theoretically. But when those checks are corrupt themselves, that's when you have this corrupt police system that can last for decades and decades and centuries in this country. And by the way, so the grand jury failed, but as we mentioned over a week ago now, there is nothing stopping them from having a second grand jury to investigate Darren Wilson. Double jeopardy does not protect him because there has not actually been a trial. And so it is possible that there could be a second grand jury. It's just unlikely.